Funko has revealed the theme of the next Legion of Collectors box after the Suicide Squad box, which a lot of people are receiving at this moment of this video being made. And the focus is going to be the women of DC. So in this video, I'm just going to speculate. Let me be clear about that. Speculate, because I don't have any evidence or anything. But I'm just going to speculate about what could possibly be in the box. And I will talk about some different options. And I'll also let you know what I would like to personally see inside of the box. Now we know the big character of the moment is Harley Quinn. And I'm definitely glad that she has become so popular. A lot of people are looking forward to seeing Margot Robbie play her in the Suicide Squad movie. I think she's going to do a great job. But even though I'm a huge Harley Quinn fan, I think she's going to have a very limited representation inside of this box. The reason why I'm saying that is because she's represented within the Suicide Squad box. And then also with the Suicide Squad line, there are at least 5 pop figures of her. Before the Suicide Squad movie even came along, there were at least 9 Harley Quinn pop figures. And you can go back and do the math on the people. I think these numbers are accurate. So like I said, that's a lot of pop figures for one character. And she also is going to have a solo movie coming out. So that's why I say I think Harley Quinn is represented very well. I don't think she needs to be hugely represented within this Women of DC box. So possibilities for her, I think she might be on the pin, and it could be her classic look, or it could be one of her more modern looks like she was in the New 52. And I know that DC has the Rebirth storyline going on. I'm not sure if they've really changed the character's look yet, but I think it'll be one of those 2 looks. Doubt it would be the look from the movie, since they just did the Suicide Squad box. And then if she's on the t-shirt, I think she would be on the t-shirt along with other characters. I don't think it would just be a Harley Quinn shirt. When you talk about history overall, Wonder Woman is by far DC's biggest female character. And really in comics in general, I think she's the most significant female character. And by the way, I chose this specific image here because I think if you're a DC fan and you're into animated movies as well, you really should check out that Wonder Woman movie if you missed it. It's kind of a shame that a lot of people did not check that movie out. And yes, I do think it has something to do with it being a solo movie with a female heroine, which is kind of unfortunate. But yeah, it was an excellent movie, really well done. The best representation of the character thus far, I would say. And one other thing that comes to mind, I'll just go ahead and address this. I think both companies, Marvel and DC, and some other comic companies as well, because Marvel and DC, they're not the only companies that exist. They're all pretty guilty of over-sexualizing characters, female characters. But especially lately in the more recent DC animated movies with Wonder Woman, I don't like the way they're treating the character. But in her standalone movie, she was treated with respect. I think the story was very well handled. So yeah, Wonder Woman is going to definitely have some sort of representation. But again, she was just represented within the Batman vs. Superman line because of course she was in the movie. And then she has a solo movie coming out, which I hope DC would be willing to do a Wonder Woman box. I don't know if they have enough faith in the character or not, but I really think they should consider doing that. So again, in the Women of DC box, I think her representation might be limited some, but if they decide to play it safe, and I'm not putting the company down, because sometimes when they play it safe, we get some excellent figures like Hulkbuster. I think that was kind of playing it safe, but it was a smart move. Armored Batman, again, playing it safe, but I think that was a good move. In fact, the only time I think they played it safe and I wasn't too happy was that 2-pack Civil War, because I already liked the Iron Man and Captain America figures that I had. But getting back to Wonder Woman, if they play it safe and they focus on her with the pop figure, I think it definitely needs to be an action pose. And you see here on the screen, this is the action I would love to see. Wonder Woman leaping into battle, sword and shield in hand. So it doesn't have to be the movie design. In fact, I don't know if they would go with the movie design. This might be a more comic book focused box. But still, I would like to see that sort of action pose. Or maybe if they could do something with her holding the lasso of truth, that would be cool as well. And some other possibilities, like I said, if they try to limit her within this box just because they do have plans to do more with her in the future, and I know they just released the Wonder Woman patina version. That's pretty cool figure. So if they decide to hold off on doing more with her, she might be represented on the patch. And if they put any female character solo on the t-shirt, I think it would definitely have to be Wonder Woman. And like I said already, again, their action pose, I think if they're going to do Wonder Woman at all, it has to be an action pose. Now, some other possibilities for the pop figure. First of all, or I should say next, my next choice would probably be Hawk Girl. Not really my personal choice, just I think a strong possibility. And the reason why I say this is because I've seen the GameStop sheets about what's up and coming, and from the Legends of Tomorrow, oddly enough, and again, this is very questionable in my book, they decided to focus on 3 male characters: Firestorm, Atom, and Hawkman. Oddly enough, if you follow the series, I know you should be like me and wondering, why are they choosing Hawkman over Hawkgirl? I think that's a very questionable decision, but then again, you never know. Maybe Hawkgirl will pop up in this box, and I actually would be okay with that. I think Hawkgirl's a decent character on that show, but I'm not a huge fan of that show overall. Another possibility, I think a lot of people would be happy with a more comic book accurate version of Poison Ivy. Poison Ivy is pretty popular, maybe not hugely popular, definitely not on the level of Harley Quinn, but I think enough people like the character that if they did a more comic accurate version, people would be satisfied with that. And they could do a lot with the detailing, with her, having the plants on her as basically as her outfit. They could do a lot with the vines and the leaves overlapping and those things. They really could go all out and make a more comic book accurate Poison Ivy, and I think people, like I said, would be satisfied. And then maybe sort of a long shot here, Zatanna. If they decide to go the Squirrel Girl route or the Morbius route, whatever you want to call it, where they go with a character that's not as well known, then Zatanna might be a possibility. I don't know if they would do that. Like I said, probably a long shot, but when I think about DC characters in general, especially the female characters, if they're going to go obscure, I think she probably would be an option for them. Now, if I had my way, if I were to choose what pop would be inside of the box, I would go with Batwoman. Now, I haven't actually read Batwoman. I need to go back and read. I need to find a collected edition or a graphic novel, something to read up on this character more, because I saw her recently in Batman Bad Blood, and I took to the character right away. She's a really good character. I like her background, that she has a military background, and she actually doesn't mind using a gun. Of course, Batman's not a fan of that, so I would imagine that's something that may have changed as the comic went along. I don't know though, I can't really speak on this. I definitely got to read up on the character. And by the way, I do read female characters. I read Miss Marvel. I definitely read Harley Quinn. So it's more of a time factor than anything that I haven't read Batwoman yet. But yeah, I think she would be awesome as a pop. And if they make her as a pop, I would say go for it and actually give her the gun in hand. I think it just looks cool, with that sort of pose that she has right there. But like I said, I know that's a long shot. That's just what I would like to see. Another item that I think is going to be in the box is another Rock Candy figure. And I want you to do some math with me here. You notice that on the left hand side, starting from the left, there are 2 Batgirl figures, one classic, one more modern. Then you have Supergirl and Harley Quinn. I'll get back to them in just a moment. But again, we have 2 Wonder Woman figures, one that's more classic looking or comic book looking, and then one based off the Batman vs. Superman movie. So each of those characters, Batgirl and Wonder Woman, they have 2 Rock Candy figures. And then Supergirl also has 2 figures, because there's the TV version and again a more comic or classic looking version. And Harley Quinn, we have her classic looking version, and they have announced a more modern look, a more modern take on Harley Quinn as well. So each of these characters has 2 pops, and they've announced recently another Rock Candy figure, Catwoman. So they have this version of Catwoman, and I think there's a strong possibility in the Women of DC box that we're going to get another rock candy figure of Catwoman with a more modern look. And the way that she looked in the Arkham games is very similar to how she looks in the comics, or at least the new 52 comics. I don't know if they've changed her look up recently or not, but I think I'd be happy with that if they did a rock candy Catwoman. Although again, if I was really putting the box together myself, if I had, that opportunity, my dream box, basically, I would have to go with Michelle Pfeiffer's version of Catwoman from Batman Returns. And they did recently announce those Batman Returns dwarves, which I would so love to have that 3-pack, and I think it is going to make its way to stores eventually. But yeah, a rock candy version of Catwoman, I think that would be pretty cool. Michelle Pfeiffer's version. Michelle Pfeiffer just did an amazing job with that role. So yeah, again, I'm pretty much going all in on that. I think that the rock candy figure of Catwoman is just a sure thing. And maybe I'm biting myself, or shoot myself in the foot. I was about to say something else. I got confused there. But yeah, I think that's just gonna happen. And then she might be on the t-shirt along with some other characters as well. But with the t-shirt, they do have options. Like I said, if they go with a single character, it's got to be Wonder Woman. But they might put a bunch of heroes together, maybe heroes and villains. They could do the Gotham Sirens or Gotham City Sirens together, and that's Poison Ivy, Catwoman, and Harley Quinn. So those are possibilities. Yeah, and again though, if I had it my way, and I know that this is a very slim chance, but if I had it my way, I think they should just go all in with female villains on the shirt. And yes, I know the Gotham Sirens, Poison Ivy, Harley Quinn, Catwoman, that they have been villains, but they've also been sort of anti-heroes as well. Especially Poison Ivy in the Arkham Knight game. She showed a more heroic side of herself. But I think they should go all in with female villains, including adding in Killer Frost, Livewire, Cheetah, especially Cheetah. I think Cheetah is awesome. And again, Cheetah would make a very cool pop figure as well. I think another long shot there though. But I think going all in with female villains would be really cool. I didn't mention the comic. I think there are just maybe too many options with the comic. Who knows where they'll go with that. Hopefully it is something related to DC Rebirth, because I would like to know more of what's going on as far as DC Rebirth is concerned. I don't know if they've done the first Wonder Woman issue or not yet. Maybe that's something else that could be in the box. But I want to hear your thoughts as well. What do you think they're going to do with this Women of DC box? And do you think they're going to outdo Marvel's version, the Women of Power? Me personally, I think absolutely. I think they are going to outdo what they did with Marvel, because I'm just more of a DC fan, but I like both companies, obviously. And again, like I said, both companies need to step it up and do a little bit better about representing their female characters in a more respectable way. But who knows, maybe that's something that'll change more over time. But like I said, in the comments, go ahead, let me know what are your thoughts on the box. What do you think Funko is going to do? What would you like to see them do? I really want to hear your thoughts on it, and also, maybe what you think about what my thoughts are on the box as well. But thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. And again, like I said, this is purely speculation. I don't have any of the facts, but I do think it's fun sometimes just to speculate and think about what might be. But that's it for the video, and thank you for watching. You all take care.